Hi everyone, so today we are going to be going over some stencils, and we have some new stencil builders that we are going to go over and show you what they can do. I'm just going to show you some of them, and then I'm going to actually demo one of them for you. So the first one we have, it looks really tiny. This is our Asian Living Stencil Builder. It is meant for a slimline card, but you can also do it for a regular size card. And basically when it gets put together, it gives this illusion of being inside of a home with their screen door open, looking out into the background of a beautiful garden, and you could put your images straight on there. The stencil comes with the little hut, the greeneries, the fence, and then the panel doors, and you just put those side by side to each other to create your wall. Our next one is our Desert 2 Scene Builder. We also have a Desert Builder. This is our second one, and it comes with these builder pages. There's actually one more stencil piece that I forgot to use when I created this sample, but as you can see, it makes a nice, lovely, dimensional layer of a scene for the desert. Then we have one that makes a pier scene. And this is what the stencil size looks like here. You get the island in the background, and then you get the dock. And the dock is in 2 layers, so you can make the stripes. And then if you take detail pens, you can also put the wood grain on there. We also have other stencil builders that were released a while ago. We have one that is actually a beach one, and it comes with a sunset, so you can add that. You can combine more than one of your stencils, and it also has ripples for the ocean in that one as well. And then our last one that we're going to do today is our Tiki Hut Stencil Builder, which is what I'm going to build for you guys today. And it ends up looking something like so when it gets all put together. I have already colored my little image that's going to go on top. When we're all finished, I'll just put her aside. And we're going to get started creating our Tiki Hut background. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is, I always like to have a scrap piece of paper so I don't ruin my work surface. So I'm just going to put that down here. Okay, and the first thing I want to do is I'm going to ink blend with my hybrid ink. I'm going to be using a combination of hybrid inks and also distress inks. Hold on, let me just open this piece up here. Let's get my brush out. So we're going to create our sand and our sky really quickly, and we're not going to go crazy with the elements. But we just want to add, so I'm getting some of my Stamp Anything Caribbean Sea hybrid ink, and I am just going to add in some blue sky, and I'm going to start going down and towards the center, but I'm still going to leave the center part a little bit white, because when I add my stencil to it, I don't want to have to stencil over too much of the blue, because that will change the color of some of the others colors that we're going to end up adding on later. We can always go back and add more blue to our background if we need it. And now I'm just going to grab some brown. I'm going to be using our Birch hybrid ink, which is a really pale brown, just to get the look and feel of some sand coming. And the same thing here. I'm going to go down the edges and around, not covering up too much of that center area. This is just for me to start laying down that foundation of where I want my colors to be, just to start building some stuff up. These are light colors, so now that I'm going to start building with darker ones, it's not going to be a really big issue in going over them. I'm sorry, my workspace is like totally shifting on me here. So there is my sky and my bottom area. So I'm just gonna grab, my stencils have already been used, but basically what you're gonna end up with is you have the sand bottom, the, I don't know what you wanna call this, the structure for the Tiki Hut, the front panel of the Tiki Hut. Then you're gonna have the floral foliage that goes around the base part, and then you have your thatch roof as well. And that's what we're gonna start off with, is our roof. And I'm just going to do it, I'm gonna actually put it a little off center so my girl is off to the side. And you can see more of the Tiki Hut that way. And I'm also gonna put a little bit of tape on the side here, so when I stencil, I don't accidentally end up with that harsh line, because sometimes you don't realize when you're using your brush that you actually end up going over. So now I'm switching over to some distressed inks. So I'm going to start with some scattered straw. And I'm just going to add in a light base coat of some scattered straw to start making the thatch part of the Tiki Hut roof. And see, as you can see, it's yellow going on a blue, so it turned it a little bit of a green color right there. And that's why you want to make eyeball kind of where you want to go, so you can avoid that as much as you can. But since I'm going to be adding more layers, I'm now going to go in with a wild honey, which is a darker yellow, and that should help to cover up some of those variations in the colors. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but it just helps get a little bit of that there. And then you can even go in, let's see if this is my brown brush, with a little bit of a brown type color, just to dirty up the edges just a little bit, just adding that texture to it, like so. So you have some nice dimension. And that was brushed corduroy. Okay, so now that we have that, the next piece that I want to put down, lift that right up, see how pretty it is? I'm just going to flip it over so I can put the top lines of the roof here. And again, I'm just going to grab this tape. And I'm going to go in with Vintage Photo. And I'm just going to darken up in these areas. Be careful not to go outside your stencil cutout area. Sometimes it's easier if you just mask that off as well. Okay, now I can go ahead and remove that, and you can see it creates that beautiful top of my house hut thing. I always keep diaper wipes or handy wipes close by, especially when I'm stenciling, because I get a lot of ink on my hands and then I end up accidentally transferring it when I'm working. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up the structure base of my hut, the poles, I guess you want to call them. And again, just going to grab Post-it tape so I don't go off the line. And I am going to use that same Vintage Photo. And I am going to go ahead and ink up this as well. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to, drop the ink. Sorry about that. Actually, I think I'm going to go in with a darker color. That one's not dark enough. So I'm gonna go in with ground, is this it? Ground espresso. Because I want the wood pieces to all the browns so that you'll be able to see the different parts of the construction in the stencil. So this is ground espresso. If you don't have several different colors inks, if you just keep doing more and more layers, they're gonna darken up on you, and then you can apply more pressure in certain areas. And that's just gonna help you as well get the look that you want. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one, like so. And now before I do the inside there, I wanna put a very light, this is like the shadowy part, or if you're gonna do it on an island, this could be the sand part. Whatever you want to make this be. I'm gonna do this in a soft brown. So I'm gonna do it in, let's see, maybe antique linen. Just wanna wipe off my brush a little bit. Let's see how antique linen might be a little bit too dark. But I'll just use a light pressure just to give, and it's gonna give a little variation in that sand bottom that we also created, so that you can see this is the bottom of that Tiki Hut. Oh, and I did smear a little, sorry about that, but we'll fix that. We'll go back with that ground espresso. Okay, move these out of the way. Okay, because we're gonna want to have that go on top, so we will go back and do that in a moment. But first, we also want to make our little frame here of our front part of our tiki, the little front area. And with that, I'm gonna go in with, let's see, I wanna go in with maybe brushed corduroy. This should be a different color brown, yeah. So we're gonna go in with this. It's just another shade of a different brown. Oh, you know what? I just realized I messed up. I was supposed to do the solid color first. So let me lift this up really quick. We need to do it as the solid, the solid background. And then we put our cross marks on it. So sorry about that. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll fix that real quick. So now I have my light solid background like so. There we go. And now I'm gonna go back in with see, this is gonna go here. Oop, let me get these magnets. Say I have ink on my fingers, so I ended up transferring it onto my thing, but I'll probably be able to get that covered up with some of the grass areas. Right, so we're gonna put that there. And we're gonna put this here. All right, and now I'm gonna go back in with my ground espresso, which is that darker brown. And now I'm gonna add those cross marks. Give that Tiki Hut front a nice little textured feel. Like so. Okay, and now I'm gonna just slide that off. Got that. And now we're gonna just go back in and fix our Tiki Hut structure. So I'm just gonna line that back up again real quick. And I'm just going to add in that area that got washed off. so. And that will take care of our Tiki Hut. Oh, me and my transferring of all of this ink. Wipe off as much as it will allow. Okay, so there it is for the most part. There is our scene of our tiki. And then what we have are these really great foliage leaves that will go around. Now there is a border, so if you wanted to line this up with your card, just remember you're gonna have a bit of a border, like in our example here, that if you have a framed A2, you can do so and frame your card. Otherwise, you wanna make sure that you line up your stencil so it's hanging off the page, so then it doesn't end up with that line there for you. So I'm just gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna grab some different shades of green. So this is Forest Moss. A nice greeny color. There's for one, like so. And then I'm gonna take these two and I'm gonna also have them line off my paper just a little bit so I don't have that border. And again, I'm just going to ink that up as well, like so. And stenciling goes really quickly with the builders once you figure out all the places you need to line your items up with. And then you also have a second thing of foliage leaves, and I'm going to have them, let's see, let's put, I know I want this one down here. You can just layer it right on top and then you'll have overlapping leaves. But because the distress inks are still wet, you might get that little bit of that bleed through again. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it, but I'm gonna do it in a lighter color of a different shade of green. And I'm just gonna kind of lightly go over it so it doesn't distort the green underneath too much. If you're using hybrid inks, it's going to dry faster. You won't have to worry about that. So I'm going to do that, slide this off, and I just have to do my last little leaf one, which is the one I'm going to do over here. I'm just going to put that, actually, I'm going to put it here. The same thing, I'm just gonna lightly put it on so it doesn't wipe off the green underneath, like so. And now you have a really cute background image that you can just take your colored image of, and I just have her on a piece of Post-it tape just to show for the demo, and stick her right onto her card. And then you can take this, glue it onto the base of a card, add a sentiment, but you created this cute little scene for her. And again, we have more than the one. You have the pier one, so she could also be standing on the pier, which would be cute. We have a couple that would fit in the desert scene. We have a couple cowboys, cowgirls that would work there. And then you also have, again, the Asian living one. In the past, the ones we had a mountain builder, we had a house builder, cloud builder, grass builder, ocean builder, and a beach builder. And you can use them in combinations with each other. You can do our beach builder or clouds in the background on this one. Again, on this one, you can add the sunset from our beach builder and the waves. So just use them however you want, but that is how you use Stencil Builders. And again, this was the one we just created today, and just sticking her back there. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's that easy to create some really, really cute scenes for your images. You guys have a great day, and we will see you again at our next demo. Bye.